Okay, so once more, good evening. Here is another Coach Café, the December Coach Café, and we are starting as usually with very short introduction from my side, and then I will give over to Tatjana. She will introduce herself. So simply summarizing, Coach Café is a monthly project in English. Usually it is first Thursday of the month. And I am trying to get interesting guests for the opening. But basically, Coach Cafe is meant as a space for anybody who is interested in coaching and would like to share some ideas, ask questions, run the discussion. And really, the cafe is a kind of a symbol or kind of a picture I have in my mind when I was thinking about Coach Cafe. That basically we can imagine that friends who are having the same hobby are meeting regularly in a pub or cafe or restaurant, and they just chat about their area of interest. So this is it. Plan is about an hour up to 90 minutes. Of course, if there are no questions and no discussions, we will finish shorter. Really depends on you. I will have one or two questions for the beginning, but then I hope that the others will also enter the discussion. And it's all for the beginning. So Tatjana, it's on you now. I'd be glad if you say a few words about yourself and then we can start.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Michal, for invitation. And isn't it great to be connected with people that we are so physically on distance and physically far away from each other. Yes, my name is Tatjana Dragosavac, and I will tell you a few words about me. And believe me, you will figure out more than you want about me. But at the beginning, I really would like to be connected more strongly with you all, and to make some good connection with this group. And let me do together with you some short exercise. It is really short exercise. It is really, but it will pay off, you know. Please, let's breathe together for the beginning. And for the beginning, take a deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out very slowly. 3 times. Breathe in. Breathe out slowly. Once again. Inhale and slowly through your teeth, exhale. Let the next breath pass through your mind and pick up your thoughts. It gently hugged them and took them out with a light exhale. Now do it alone. Breathe in, fresh air in the mind. Gently hugged your thoughts and took them out with a light exhale. Now do it without my help. Just once. Thank you. Thank you. I hope it will be useful for all of us, especially for me, you know, because these kind of exercise help us to remove all disturbance that our thoughts make in our mind. And it is much better without thoughts, because when we in a state without thoughts, we are much closer to our potentials, you know. And for sure it will be useful for all of us. I will tell you about me, 2 information, and I think it is relevant to our topic. The first information is that now I'm the most satisfied person in Serbia, because I work leadership coach with the senior leaders in public administration. And I will tell you why I'm speaking about that. It is not just a prize. Okay, it is a little bit, but not just a prize, you know, of myself. Now I work with them, 2 programs. It is under European Union projects, and I worked with them individual coaching, and I work with them self-management. Isn't it great topic? Yes. And why I'm telling this to you? Because I have a big issue with authorities all my life. In such a way that I don't stand any authorities in my life. And during my, in some way, learning of coaching and training and then to become better in this field, I figure out that I have to deal with this topic. I ask myself, in which area of my life I can't admit my authorities. I can admit my authority in definitely it was some issue with myself and my areas of life, because I figure out that our internal growth can only take place if we are able to get rid of the limitation that bind us. And that is definitely something that binds me. And now, and because of that, I mentioned that I'm now work with senior leaders, and I don't have issue that, with authorities anymore. I figure out that this topic is very important to be aware of, you know, and start thinking when you have some difficulties, when you have some issues about any segment, any topic, convert it, transfer it in your own life, and ask yourself, what is it? What is in for me? What is there for me? You know, it helps me a lot to support myself and to make improvement in my area of business. The second information that has influence in our, and it is in the relation of our topic too, it is that I have a great family. I have 3 children. They are adults now. And I have a partner who is a love of my life, and they gave me a great support and great love in my life. And in return, in some way, I felt obliged to return it, to give them in return, except of course, this love and attention that I gave. And it was example. I gave them example that in the middle age, in my 50, I quit my job, permanent and good job, and start doing on my own. And I gave them example that it's never too late, that it should be, everyone could be brave enough and to support and to deal with their own dreams, you know. I said too much for the beginning, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's okay to have a bit more information about our guest. So it's nice of you. Thank you very much. And I think if participants will have more questions about you, they will ask you. So don't worry.
Yes.
And as you mentioned in the beginning, probably we will know you more through the discussion. So I'm happy with the beginning and with your short introduction. And we can move to our topic, which is self-confidence and developing self-confidence. And basically, my first question is simple. There are a few more words about self-confidence, like self-esteem, self-worthness. And because I'm not a native speaker, I'm a bit kind of puzzled. What does it mean? Basically, not exactly the translation, but what do you mean with these words, and what is behind, and what's the difference?
Yes, it's great to make a difference between self-esteem and self-confidence. In a way, I can explain it shortly. Self-confidence is ability to apply some knowledge. We have some abilities, we have some knowledge, and we are ready to use it. And we in some way become more and more self-confidence in some area with learning and practicing it. Self-confidence is our capacity and ability to make a progress in one area of our life. Self-esteem is something wider, and I can say freely that it is something more important, because one can have high self-confidence, particularly in some specific and certain area and field, but still have a lack of healthy sense of overall value of self-esteem. Self-esteem is a value, and it is in connection with our thoughts, with our relationships, with our experiences. And very often we ignored esteem as a value, very often, and mostly we do that. I will explain it through one example. For example, there is one important value that we ignore too often, and it is health. We think that health is not so important. I have some friend, and she was a financial director. She is a director of a company now in Serbia, a big company. And she is a magician in making money. She's so great, so clever, so smart, and so in some way so hardworking, so dedicated to her work. But she has a chronic illness, and I was really worried about her and what happens with her, because she's so too often was ill. And then I started to ask her to do some exercise with me, and I check their value system. I did it this kind of exercise. Of course, she liked doing it with me, and she accept whatever it comes from me. It is good, to make an influence. And then we figure out that in the first 5 values, there is no health in her value system. There is no health. And then she figured out what is the main mistake in her life, Yes, you are very often ill because you don't care about yourself and your health. And of course, now things changing, start changing, definitely start changing, because when we have it in our value system, then we notice how to protect it. We notice how to take care of it, The story is about esteem, the same story. Esteem is our value of ourself, how value and how worth we are for ourselves, how much we appreciate ourselves, how much we are important to ourselves. It is deeply connected with identity. And if it is up to me, and sometimes it is, when I do coaching, I always check the value system. And sometimes I figure out that health, esteem, and family isn't in the first 3 place. And then because we don't have to do coaching now, I suggest all of our participants and for all of us to think about first 3 or 5 values in their lives, because when they this is a main science in our lives, you know, the health. There is no question that it is not, that it is, there is no doubt that it is the most important thing in our lives. There is no question that family is the most important thing in our lives. There is no question, there is no doubts. Because, you know, if you die tomorrow, your colleagues and friends will be very sad, but your family will be sad forever, you know. And it is our value system. And of course, esteem, that you appreciate whatever you achieved, whatever you make, whatever you done, you may appreciate it, admit it, acknowledge it, you know. Has it sense?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. It's very interesting, and it's taking me to the question, because there is an opposite position or term, selfishness.
Yeah.
I think that they can be quite close sometimes. You know, I'm so big self-esteem that it can be somehow changed to selfishness. So what do you think about it?
Yes, yeah, it's a great question, and it's in the right time. I think. I think Maslow, the famous psychologist, he set these life's needs. Among all needs, it is esteem. It is esteem. It is our topic today. And he said that we could get self-esteem with esteem others. Only this is the only way to acknowledge self-esteem, by appreciation for others. Yes, I think that our culture and our positive psychology has its influence on selfishness a lot, and we think that we now talk about ourselves a lot, and to think about ourselves. At the other side, we don't respect others. And because of that, we are not self-esteem people, you know. And I like when I read Maslow and his explanation how we could get self-esteem only by appreciation of others. And when we you know, when we make this balance between appreciation of ourselves and others, we will notice how valuable people are around us, how good values they have. It is good to check our values through other people. You know, if we appreciate goodness, generally, if we like goodness and well-being and joyfulness and so on, we should notice it in another lives, and start appreciate it with others. Start to appreciate it for others, and then we'll return it to in our life. It is a really great process, and it is in some way work unconsciously.
Yes. And if I'm thinking about it, it gets me to another paradox. You were talking about respect, and it's interesting because sometimes I hear from my clients, "Oh, I feel that others don't respect me," and it's interesting because I think it's also connected with self-respect. Yeah, and we are back to self-esteem. Yeah, because if you don't have self-esteem, self-respect, then you have difficulties to admire or appreciate others, and it's connected in the circle. So I see this is a this is an interesting circle, and I'm thinking how to enter this process, because it's connected. Yeah? You don't have self-esteem, you can't appreciate others. You don't appreciate others, you don't have self-esteem.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I think there is a because of that the problem exists, you know, and the problem are a very good indicator for our life, and they are indicator where we of course what should be our focus, and what we should notice about this problem. But of course, we now talk about self-esteem. It's always a good indicator about lack of self-confidence and lack of self-esteem, is that we want to measure ourselves and measure our success with others' success and their own achievement. We always measure, and in some way we you know, it is not possible to make the sign equal between different kind of person and different kind of characters and the different kind of preferences, different kind of talents. There is no way to make it equal. I noticed that, for example, I really was insecure person, and I was really shy, and I remember that I always, when I start to speaking, my cheeks blushed, you know, flushed, you know. I avoid to make some comments on meetings, and you know, I was really insecure, and I know what does it mean to have a lack of self-esteem completely, and I still working on that, you know. But what I noticed that bothers me a lot, it is that I took from my family what others people think about me. What others people think about me. It was my issue all the time, you know, because I grew up in some kind of patriarchal family, and it is and I of course I read that this is in connection with culture where we grow up. Czech and Serbia is collectivistic culture. It is important what other people think about us, you know. We grow up with these beliefs that it is important. Then whatever I did, whatever I finished, I have a feeling that it is not enough, you know. It is lack of self-esteem, definitely. It is not enough, but you know, it is enough for that state of mind. It is enough for that knowledge. If it is quite enough for this condition that you have, it is quite enough. Let's go, keep learning, you know. Then in some clients, I recognize lack of self-esteem when they cannot deal with the angriness. They irritated by everything, you know. And I really notice that it is a lack of self-esteem. When we deal with that, then when we start to make a focus on good things, on some what them done in the past, and start to appreciate it, then things was going to changing. And this feeling, yes, it is so often that people don't feel secure, don't feel enough safeness in inner being. Yes, it's always some new experiences. Some people find difficult to be involved, and avoid to be include included in this kind of situation, new situation. They avoid such things. And so on. Okay, is it a good answer for your question? Is it as a matter of fact answer?
Honestly said, I didn't expect it some ready-made answer. I was just pointing out that it's interesting paradox that it's in a circle, and yes. I hope that others also will make some comments or questions about it, because it's interesting. But before we go there, maybe if you could share some tips or tip or technique, what helped you to improve your self-esteem?
Yeah. It helps me a lot, first to see what I believe about myself. It helps me a lot. For example, I made a different exercise in relation to this. And sometimes I remember that I draw myself, I picture myself, how I see myself in some future situation, where I have to show my self-esteem, where I have to, in some way, to show what I know, what I have done, and. Then I noticed that I picture myself smaller than situation, smaller than other people, and that it was really great exercise to picture and to draw yourself and to find out what you really believe about yourself. How do you see yourself? Then it is about our belief system. If we want to make any change, we should start from beliefs, If we don't question our beliefs, the problem stays. Problem always will stay, definitely. And
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, a few more questions came to my mind, but I will shut up and ask our participants, our colleagues, if they have a question or comment to the discussion before I continue.
No question, but just a comment. It's really useful things that you're talking about as well. And I just try to work on my self-esteem with, I've tried like daily affirmations, goal planning, and the same as you, Tatjana, as well, like seeing what I would like to do in the future. So for example, I want to change my career. So breaking it down, rather than thinking about the dreams will stay dreams, but you have to act on them to make it real. So, I'm actively like, I've booked the course of what I want to do, like following it through, and then actually just writing down things that I want to accomplish in the future, which really helps.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. It is quite useful. It is quite useful and quite easy to apply during daily. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can share that I figure out that in a daily base, when I was the most insecure about myself and my achievement, it was a situation that I figure out, and that I in some way became aware that I always appraise my results and evaluate it as a bad one or good one, always. Or it should be or perfect or bad. It is so wrong for progress. It is so unuseful, and start judging your result as a bad or good. it is all experience, it is all learning, it is our you know, our progression in this specific area. And when I start when I stop doing that and to apprise these events as a good or bad, especially I don't know how it was your experience, but especially I figure out that this experience, maybe they are bad in some moment, but it appears to be perfect later, and reverse. Something that I appraise as excellent, it appears completely disaster later. You know, my judgment wasn't sustainable at all to divide it on a good or bad. And I think this is the best way when we divide it on a good or bad. It is the best way that we call our ego to appear, you know, and our concentration are completely divided, and our ego interference. Do you agree?
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, Jade, for a comment and sharing.
Yeah. Yes, I can. If you allow me to go, what helps me a lot. I made it like acronym phase, and this phase said that you know, the more I face different experience, the better I become, and the more skillful I become. Face is the first word is face your beliefs about yourself. It is the really first step in changing your insecurities and to become more self-esteem. What do you believe about yourself, and what do you believe about your results? In some way, put all your results and strengthen your backbone. Put it in front of you, and be sure that you know that you collect all experience, that it was possible in that moment. Phase A is allow your different experiences. This is the only way to improve your knowledge, to improve your skills, to improve your practice. Allow yourself different experiences. It was really great for me. Yes, yeah, I see what you are doing. Yeah. Face your belief about yourself, definitely. Yes. Picture yourself. I can suggest that you can draw yourself and see what is the real attitude toward yourself, how much you value your own picture. A is allow yourself different experiences. It is the only way to make progress and to improve your self-esteem. If we are afraid from different experiences, we always more afraid from different experiences when we always very judgmental about our results. And because of that, I suggest that you don't prize it, you don't evaluate your results as a good or bad, but just what you learned from it. See, create value for others, create some kind of values, create some kind of gift to others. It was a really great inspiration for me. There are a lot of people, of course, around me who achieved so much in helping others. But the one man, you know, draw my attention, and this is when Matty Camberry, he is from my country. He is a young boy. He was orphaned, and he learned to write in his 12. And from 12 years, his 12 years to 19 years, he didn't stop writing. And with his 19 years, he wrote his first book. And he said he was, in some way, he wanted to support other orphans, that it is possible to make progress, to not to be critical according to your past, and not to be too judgmental according to what happened. It is important to have a dream and to go for it, and to be inspiration for others. And enforce your state of self-resourcefulness. What does it mean? Like Jade said, say to you some good words. Use clear language. Don't offend yourself. You know, enforce your state of resourcefulness. That means that you find out your state of resourcefulness. Like at the beginning, when we stay without thoughts, you know, this is a state of resourcefulness. This is where our potentials live, you know. And same with all states that you find out that it is work for you. For me, it's curiosity. When I'm curious about, there is nothing that can stop me, nothing at all. When I'm curious. I was curious about many conferences, many training where I participated, and I was curious about this talk with Michael too. I was so curious about that. It was great, and in some way. It goes beyond self-esteem. There is no need to think of do you have self-confidence and self-esteem. I'm curious about that. You know, do you understand me? Yeah. And of course, benevolence is a great state of resourcefulness. And for me, it was really great to include when I start doing mentorship with orphans who are adults now, but still young, and still in a way to deal with life and to deal with everything. And it was so great to open this space and to be involved in this program. Yes, the state of resourcefulness is our state where our potentials and our resources and our capacities and our skills and knowledge could be useful for us.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I put some notes.
Yes.
So other questions or comments?
So to build self-esteem, would it be also a good idea to like socialize more? It's just because I'm working from home, I don't see anybody other than my dog. So I've been using the app Meetup to try and like make friends or go out more. Is that like a good thing to build self-esteem?
Yeah. Yes. Even if you are introverts, it helps definitely. Not only that extroverts can stand to be alone, you know. Even if you introverts, it will help to be involved with different projects, with different people, and to learn from them, to share with them some insights. What else helps a lot? Thank you, Jade, for this comment. To be in present moment, to be present in a now and here. When our thoughts are too connected with past events, and when we always engaged in some events that it is not possible to do anything about that. And of course, it is about future and the past. We can do anything about that. We can, whatever we could do is here and now, and try to find out your present. Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
There was a comment or question from Amanda Obernislav, if I am sure.
Well, I just wanted to share. I'm really enjoying what everybody's saying and can really relate to what you're saying, nearly everyone. I just wanted to mention a thing about recognition.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, recognition has been really important. And perhaps just recently, sometimes it comes as a bit of a surprise because you're not expecting it. And when that happens, it catches you unaware, and it's like, oh, really, you know. And I'll just share with you something that happened to me this summer. So, you know, when you're saying that change can come at any age, you know, here am I, ancient. Years ago, I used to paint. I used to do lots of portrait painting.
Mm-hmm.
And because in my generation, I was around so many brilliant artists. I mean, really brilliant artists in London. I never really paid any attention to what I was doing. I was just so in awe of all these brilliant artists. I never showed anyone my work. However, this summer I was in London again, and I was invited to the Chelsea Arts Club by some friends there. And they said, "Can you hear me?"
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And they said, well, I was looking at all the paintings on the walls and things. I mean, I know Chelsea Arts Club before. I've been there a few times before. And I thought, yes, some of the things are quite similar to what I used to do. Anyway, I applied for membership. And you have to send your paintings off to a person. And I got some feedback about my work. And I've never showed it to anyone before. And they said, your work's just like Lucian Freud. I don't know if anybody of you know his work, but he's one of my favorite artists, actually. So I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. And it was just came as such a shock. It's like being recognized, you know, my work has actually been the first time it's ever been recognized. And it's the first time I realized that in those days, I wasn't a coach. I didn't know anything about coaching, but I was supporting others even then.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, years later, it's come round again. It's like, oh my God, I ignored those talents that I had. I never had the recognition because either of my beliefs that I thought everybody else was so wonderful and my work was not up to the same level. So it's never too late, and it comes round in most unexpected ways. So it is like, oh, right, being ready to be recognized as an artist is like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do about that? So be ready for recognition, because it can come in most extraordinary ways and unlikely ways. And of course, when you are a member, it means that you'll be invited to have an exhibition. So that could be on the cards as well. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope I'm up to all this. It's a bit strange, but it happens, doesn't it? Things happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. some strange things happen, definitely, yes. But I figure out that in a way that in the field where we felt the most insecure, if we got a chance and many opportunities to be in this particular area, this is our field for growth. This is our field, and we couldn't miss the chance, and to should we use this opportunity to be involved in it and learn a lot about ourselves, you know. Thank you, Amanda, very much. You remind me that I will ask you all, please do and write down 3 things that you can appreciate about yourself. Now, please, all of you, and me too. 3 things that all of you appreciate about yourself.
You mean privately on piece of paper or in the chat?
Okay. Is it possible? Yeah, in the chat. Is it okay?
Well, it could be working, but I don't know if everybody is willing to share.
If you are willing, please share. If you are willing. If not, it is quite okay to write down on your paper. Thank you, Michael. Yeah. Nice, yeah. Amanda, share with us. I appreciate my capacity to innovate. Nice. Jade, I'm very genuine. and is willing to help others. That's great. That's great. Harry, honesty, willingness to help. Nice, yeah. I hope that you all have 3 things. Yeah, okay. It is not necessary to write it all, but willingness to learn. Nice. It is so great. Yeah. To be. So sorry. I will tell you that I'm appreciate for me to like to play games and to play and to enjoy in playing games, and I thought that I will write that I like and I appreciate to be that, because I'm so curious, but I figure out that I can't write curious on English, and and I stopped myself. Don't do that, please. People couldn't understand what do you write, you know. And because of that, I can't. Okay, It is good to stop being perfectionist and to replace the perfectionism. It is so useful to make progress in this area, because it could stop us from grow, definitely looking for perfection. And no matter that we all adults here, but you can admit that we still looking for approval from our parents. You know, we are all looking for approval, definitely, from our parents. Even some of them are dead. Yes. Yes, I can tell you that I appreciate that I like to try something new, and even I think that it made me more secure and more safe. That I try to go step by step in my and to separate this insecurity. For example, when I wasn't ready to speak on meetings and to give some comments and so on, and then I start, when I figure out it, when I see this, that I felt so insecure, I start doing it in each meeting. I start to comment. It is not easy for me. I start to comment. I start to ask. It was my rule to go step by step in this and to make a progress. You know. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It was also an interesting question about what I appreciate on myself. Still, I think that Bronislav had a question a few minutes ago. Is it still valid, Bronik?
Yeah, it is. It was just because the self, it's interesting word for me. So you can apply a lot of it with this word. In Czech, we have just one common word for many meanings. In English, it's different. Yeah, but we had the recently discussion with our friends. What really means the self something? And there was the interesting that we discussed that the pure meanings of this word is self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's starting point for all the combinations about the self. Yeah, so if I'm aware about me, about myself, it's let's say that the pure view of my life, my ambitions, my experiences, my everything. So that was the note.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, please.
Oh, I was just thinking that, yes, Broniak mentioned that in Czech language we have special words, and we also have self-trust, and I was also thinking how is trust connected with self-esteem, so it's kind of a question.
Yes, it could be a question for everyone, of course. Yes, what Branimir said, it has a sense, and this self-awareness is to see and to be aware of our own thoughts, of our beliefs, value system, emotions, to know, to recognize our emotions, and to be, you know, with yourself more familiar, you know. It is always useful. Self-trust has a connection with the self-confidence completely. If we trust in ourselves, in some area, of course we could have a different level of self-trust in different areas, like self-confidence. But when we keep learning and when we keep all the time make some steps in this self-trust and trust us more and more each day, we definitely we're so close to get completely self-confidence in some area that we want to make progress, of course. I have some thoughts, but now maybe it is not important. I don't know. I will remember for sure. yes, the self-concept, it returns us at the beginning when Mikhail said that it is important not to go in selfishness. It is really important. Yeah. And because of that, this esteem and the appreciation of others and the appreciation their values are really important for our achievement. Yeah, in this area.
I like the cat.
Yes, she's always here. She likes to see. Yes.
Yes, I think she has great self-esteem, or is it he?
She has self-esteem completely, absolutely. I learned from her so much, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't appreciate others, but definitely she appreciates mouses. Mice.
Yeah. She is on the age of self-esteem and selfishness, you know. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I can share with you what my issue was. I talk about my goals too much in some way. I think it was wrong. About goals should be quiet. You know, your goals are your goals, and in some way keep it from wide auditorium, because if you said it loud, if you repeat it all the time, maybe you will think that you achieved already, and that you lose motivation for achievement in a way. Of course, as I said, the confidence is a great to build through failure, because failure learn us a lot, and you know, it's always try to be involved in new things. It helps me a lot to make more confident when I start exercise, for example. And I have some morning routine, and I think this routine is really important for our life. And any helpful routine should be kept in our life. Of course, some of routine I used to have because I have to, but some of this routine I apply in my life by my willingness, and it is about food. It is important what do you choose to eat. And you know, I started to be vegan 3 years before, and it helps me a lot in my energy. I feel more energetic in a way than I was. This different topic. I don't want this conversation to be like my presentation or something like that. But I really you know, keep going to tell you how I make the progress and now work with the leaders, you know, and it is something I appreciate it. I work on it, and what works for me, I definitely, I think it could works for everyone. And because of that, I appreciate your question and your comment, and we will start to discuss about that, you know, if you like.
Thank you. You mentioned also the physical side of ourselves, because it's also interesting, and it's also my experience. For example, if I go jogging one day, I feel better about myself the second day. So I also feel a bit self-confidence boost that I made it, because I'm not very regular in jogging. So if I go, I feel quite okay. I went. I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So also physical part of ourselves is very, very important. And Jade mentioned the socializing, but also the connections we have around us can help us with our self-esteem.
Yes.
Can help us with some reflections. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it can help us
Yeah,
with
because
development.
it is one system. Our body, our emotions, and our mind, it is one system. And the sooner we figure out it, the sooner we catch it, the better it will be, and the faster will be our progress, definitely. Yeah. Yes, it helps me a lot when I start exercise, and I really start feeling more stronger, more alert, and everything, and my in some way body thanks me, you know.
It can be quite hard at the beginning if you're not, if, you know, a great socializer, if you're coming out of a phase where you haven't been socializing a lot. It's very hard at the beginning.
It's true. It's true. But I would hope that there are different ways of socializing, because in this world you can socialize via chat in Messenger or Meetup, and you don't have to meet those people. But of course, if we talk about physical socializing, it may be difficult for somebody who is not get used to.
Yeah.
Maybe a good idea is just to maybe join some activity that you enjoy doing, or something you've always really wanted to do, so that you can focus on doing something when you're there, or achieving a skill, and then you begin to share, and you slowly get to know people and talking to different people, and that really helps as well.
Absolutely. I agree completely. And do whatever you haven't done yesterday, for example. Yeah. It has a sense. Stretch your muscle, mind muscle, you know.
Yeah.
That's great.
Any other comment or question? Because we have now 1 hour passed, so either we go to other discussion or we go slightly smoothly to the end. So take your chance.
Yeah.
Would you have any tips on so like people around you that you obviously have no control of, say if they say things that knock your self-esteem, do you have any tips or anything like that to try and deflect that and move on from that so that it doesn't keep knocking your self-esteem?
If I understand, tips about how to deal with that, these kind of people who overreact in some way, yeah? Yeah, okay. Do you think, is it in connection with the self-esteem?
Yeah.
What else about this person is some other indicator? Is there any?
So just to give you an example, so you know, one person telling me that I'm stupid, I won't be able to do this. You know, that's just one example. So how to like cope with that, and so that it doesn't damage my self-esteem, if that makes sense to you?
Yeah. Yes, of course. Yes. What is really important in this situation, don't reflect their own opinion. Don't reflect it, because we all very often, for example, we bring with us the other people's opinion about us, and we are very insecure about their opinion about us. And what we do, we start doing the same way according to us. We start doing exactly what we heard from this person, and start to think about ourselves the same about us. It is really important to divide and not to take take it with you. It is really important what you said to you in relation to some. In some, I hope that it has a point for you. In some way, we may feel more insecurity. And when someone tell us that we are, I don't know, stupid in this area, we may became so hurt, so offended, because we think that we are insecure in this area, not because of them, but because of us. On the other side, when we feel secure, safe, stable, when we believe in our abilities, when we believe in our knowledge, we very rare that we take their opinion with us too long. It has its sense for you.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's kind of like about believing in yourself and just doing what you believe in. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yes. It is because you know, it is great learning when we notice the other people around us. They are not accidentally near us. They are on purpose around us. And when we have some difficulties with the person who are very close to us, our sister or brother or child or whatever, partner, probably this main issue is in connection with your own inner issue, with your inner critic, not there. And it is a field for learning. It is a field that we should figure out how to overcome it, how to learn how to become more calm, how to reach this self-esteem in this and yes, definitely I will start from the beginning. Put esteem in your value system. It is so useful. Put esteem in your value system, and when you whatever you have in your value system, our unconscious mind will be take care of that. And we will notice the situation, we will notice different kind of instruments, and that could help us to protect us and to not to be offended from others. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One tip came to my mind, or maybe the comment to this. If somebody says you are stupid, you can't do it, I would say it just to myself, you don't know me. Yeah, because nobody knows you better than you. So I wouldn't respond aloud to this person. But I would say myself, okay, you think that, but you don't know me. You don't know me. And the second comment on that is that, and it's connected with these affirmations you mentioned, Jade, that, for example, my affirmation is, I may not be an expert in this, but I am able to learn. And if I want to be better, I can learn it. So this is my affirmation.
That's really, thank you.
Yes, it's a great to say it aloud. You don't know me. It is quite, it is quite okay to say you don't know me, definitely. And in some way to put this in some way to protect yourself, to protect your definitely we don't know other people as well as they know know themselves.
Yeah.
Definitely, yes.
Mm.
Yes, it was so great and so rich conversation about self-esteem. It has an influence in each area of our life, in relationship, in any business achievement, in a partnership, in a relation with the children, and everything is, you know, my children grew, but I always will advise the young mothers and fathers that they appreciate their children, because I think it in some way you put the wings on their arms when you appreciate them. You know, there is no better feeling that when one person and when one child is appreciated. Yeah, thing.
I've just invented an exercise. Maybe because it was, for me, it was a great question from you, Tanya, about what I appreciate about myself. And you mentioned 3 things. And I'm thinking, how about to have an exercise every day, 365 days? Say, okay, what do I appreciate today about myself? And it must be different from yesterday. So it is an exercise I invented just now.
Yes, perfect exercise, as a matter of fact. Perfect, definitely. Yes, this is a great question, and we did several great things. The first one was meditation. To really release and to free yourself from thoughts. Everything is much more better perceived. Everything is insightful without thoughts. When you have thoughts that you have from the same thoughts from yesterday, nothing new cannot happen. And because of that, you should empty the space and expect the best. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yes,
we have Broniek and Amanda with microphones on, so maybe they have questions or comments.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I had just one thing came on my mind when you, Tatjana, mentioned the inner critic. Yeah, so it's something like from my experiences when I'm discussing about the people, about the situation, like someone tell them they're stupid and they feel not so good. It's always the good ask yourself why I feel this kind of discomfort. Yeah, but it required a lot of, let's say, the sincerity to my personal or my personality, because a lot of people trying something like the positive psychology. Okay, I'm not so bad, I'm better, but something inside is blocking them for the broke this kind of the feeling on the mindset. Yeah, and it's not so comfortable. And you mentioned meditation. It's good way to thinking about yourself in the situation that you are in the complete calm. A lot of thoughts is coming on your mind, and then it's challenge to be let's say real on, or to trying to understand. Yeah, so. Yeah. But that's my experience. Yeah, that it can help a lot of time. Yeah, to fight with this kind of situations.
Yeah. Maybe, thank you very much for Branislav for this comment. It is really important, and everyone has the similar situation for sure. I think it helps to think about yourself as your friend. Be the best friend of yourself. You know, we are not thinking about that, but friendship is really magical. Our friends we choose our friends, you know, but family member we don't choose. We born in some family, and we have to accept it and to learn from these differences. But our friends are our choice, and be friends to you. Be friends to in every situation. Be gentle about yourself, because I don't believe in fight. I don't believe in any kind of struggle. When I start, for example, I start avoiding negative and critics people, you know. It helps. I start avoid it because it is no point to hear all the time some kind of complaints and negative thoughts and so on, because it influences. You know, I start to avoid social media too. I delete this application Facebook and LinkedIn in my mobile phone. I could enter it only when I'm on a computer. It helps a lot, believe me, because you know there is a lot of information that we could not deal with anymore, definitely. And because of that, meditation is important to in some way to empty our mind and to relax us and to prepare us for a day. And
it's great tip to switch off social networks.
Yes,
on mobile, I mean.
On mobile, yes. It is important, of course. Sometimes my clients are on Facebook, and then they wrote me very often on Messenger and so on. I can delete it. I can be without that, but not all the time. Not all the time. Not the weekend. No, just 4 working days. It's quite enough for social media.
Cat wants something to eat.
oh no, she got crazy in this period of time. I don't know what happens. Yeah, I hope that it was useful for you in a way, in some way. I hope really. What additionally could say in this area that you find out your uniqueness, your talent. When you find out your talent and your preferences, and it could be done with different instruments for self-assessment. It is really useful to get. Now, I deal with these instruments. If you need, please write to Michal and me, and I will send some instruments like MBTI self-assessment. It is good to know what personality type you are. It brings a great understanding for some behavior, you know.
Yeah,
I just wanted to express gratitude for being here tonight and everything you've been saying, Tatjana. It's been great. It's been wonderful. It's been lovely to have Michael with all your great suggestions. It's lovely to listen to you all. And I think gratitude for me is something that is so helpful. because just being thankful for little things every day, sometimes just little things, even just having a nice cup of coffee in the morning, something like that, stopping and just thinking, God, this is great, and appreciating the taste, or noticing the sun, or if there is any, or even the rain. It's just a moment. I call it, I suppose it's kind of like people call it mindfulness. I don't like to put my names on it, but I suppose, I think Bronislav was mentioning awareness. It's a lot to do with that, just stopping the momentum of everything that's happening and just being aware that in that moment everything is absolutely perfect. And that actually helps the feeling. It kind of lifts you, and you feel it is good, and there is hope, and things are getting better. They get better and better every day. It's not the other way around. So I just to express that for me, gratitude is helpful.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. Thank you for reminding me, and gratitude and gratefulness. Yes, so powerful. In some way, this being in this state of mind, you appreciate your past and the present and the future when you are grateful for your life, for your present, for your what you do, what you see, what you have. When you are grateful, it is so powerful. Yeah. And create a positive self image and self dialogue. Definitely. Thank you, Amanda, for remind us and this so important value. Yeah.
It reminds me that Tim Galway, at many times when he finishing his discussions, says, "We are humans." Yeah, it's a simple sentence and it's covering everything. Yeah, so
yes.
Thank you for discussion today.
Thank you very much.
Meow. It was nice. Thank you from your cat. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Bronislav. Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Tatjana and Harry. I think we covered many topics and it was a great evening for me. But still, I'm not finishing. If there is a question or comment you want to make, you can do it just now.
Yes.
So giving a space for our participants, for visitors or Coach Café tonight.
Yeah. Bronislav mentioned Tim Galloway, and I like his metaphor about rose. It is so great, as a matter of fact. It is so simple and great, because he said that the rose is perfect in each phase of its own growth, and in each stage of this change, it is perfectly fine and just keep growing. And we should learn from this metaphor that we are perfectly fine wherever we are now, and whatever phase we have now. And of course, we should keep learning, and it is our mission, and not to ask too much about purpose in life and everything. Our mission is to learn and to love and to be gratefulness in this space. I think so.
Yeah, it reminds me some kind of the philosophical ideas that in the certain moment we have to trust that in the certain moment we are in the right place, in the right situation. Always. Yeah. So
always. Yes, we should believe more, definitely, in this. Thank you, Michael, for this invitation and for having me here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. And I wish you a pleasant evening or night and the rest of the week. And Merry Christmas, because Christmas coming, New Year. So enjoy yourself. keep your self-esteem as high as possible, and enjoy yourself. Thank you very much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to everyone.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Huh? What do you think? Was it